Hey everybody, so I'm going to try and show you how to use the applet to make the 95% confidence interval. Alright, so to begin with, we're going to begin with the problem that we were doing in class at the beginning of the week, where our pi was 0.2 because 1 of 5 of the bags of breath had an individual who had colon cancer. And that's where the 0.2 is coming from. Our sample size was 33 and our number of samples will be 100. And we had as a p-hat 0.91, I believe. Now, when we actually put that sample statistic on our simulation distribution, we find that our p-value is 0, and it supports that over here. And our p-value of 0 is telling us that this distance, this value is so far away from the 0.2 that it's very unlikely that 0.2 is the real proportion value. So I just realized I have the number of successes, and so I typed in, remember, 0.91, and that's how I ended up with the 30. We can click that over to proportion, and that will change to 0.9091 for us. And you'll notice that the scale changes. So if I go to number of successes, the scale is the number of successes. It's the 30 out of the 33. All right, back to the confidence interval thing. The idea with the confidence interval is that what we're going to do is we're going to think about this value, the proportion from our sample, is going to be the middle of our confidence interval. And we're going to try and find the left-hand side of this. And what I mean by that is we're going to try and increase this number until it's close enough that our p-value here will crest the 0.05 mark. So I will type in 0.3, I will reset, and I will say draw samples, and our p-value is still 0. Okay, now I'm going to change this to 0.4. I'm going to reset, and I'm going to say draw samples, and I still have a p-value of 0. So we'll change this to 0.5. We will reset, we will draw samples, and we still have a p-value of 0. Okay, so I'm creeping up, and you'll notice I'm creeping up from the left, so this has got to be greater than or equal to for this to work. Okay, so I'm going to be at 6, and I'm going to go ahead and reset. I'm going to say draw samples. Still not there yet. I haven't gotten anything yet. Try 0.7. We're going to reset. Draw samples. Ooh, now we're starting to get something. So what I'm going to try is 0.75. I'm going to reset, and I'm going to draw samples. I still have 1 out of 100. It didn't really change anything for me. Let's try to go to 0.8. And I will hit reset, and we'll go to draw samples. Ooh, now we're at 12 out of 100. So our p-value is 0.12. So I'm going to back this down. I want to see if there's something closer to the 0.05. So I'm going to try 0.78. And I'm going to hit reset. And I'm going to go ahead and draw samples. Ooh, so 0.78 got me 0.04. I'm trying to be above or at 0.05 to find the left-hand mark. So I'm going to try 0.79. And I'm going to hit reset. I'm going to draw samples. Ooh, I'm still at 0.4. So what's happening here is now I'm at the point where I need to start to go to the third decimal spot. All right, so I'm going to reset. I'm going to draw samples, and I'm at my 0.05. So that is the left-hand boundary of my confidence interval. Now I'm going to change the direction of my arrow so I can work for the right-hand boundary. So I'm going to take this value, write it down, 0.795. That is the left-hand mark of my confidence interval. I'm going to change this to 0.97. And I'm going to hit reset. I'm going to say draw samples. Ooh, that was a good guess. So 9 out of 100 is 0.09. So I'm going to see if I can't scoot it a little bit, and I'm going to say 0.975, a little bit. I'm sorry, to the right. I pointed to the left. A little bit to the right, and see if I can't get this value right around the 0.05 mark like I did before. And so I will reset and I will draw samples. Ooh, that one actually increased. Let's try 0.98. Remember, we're dealing with samples, so we might be, oh, now we're back over to 0. So 0.977, no, let's try 0.973, see what ends up happening. Reset, draw samples. Ooh, now we're getting closer. So we're at 0.973. I'll reset. I'll try 0.972. 974. Let's try 974. So I'm just trying to get to that spot, and this is about as close as I'm going to get. So 0.974 is going to be the right side of my confidence interval. So what I want to have happen is I want to be right around and a little bit above the 0.05 mark when I'm trying to generate the 5% confidence interval. I'm sorry, the 95% confidence interval. When we talked about this, that the 5% is with the 95, the 10% is with the 90%, and so forth. Okay, hopefully that helps. All right, I'll talk to you guys.